Hello, I'm not Anthea Turner.
And I'm not Anthea Turner.
And welcome to the Camelot PLC Broadcasting Company's TMWRNJ.
Time to watch This Morning with Richard and Judy. Let down your hairs, forget all your cares. Kick off your shoes, here is the news. Take off your shirt, here is the dirt. Take off your pants, thanks. With Richard and Judy. For better, not worse, it's live, not rehearsed. Made fun of money, surprisingly funny. Welcome your hosts, they call Richard and Judy. They have no idea, so let's see how they do on This Morning with Richard.
Go on, you definitely win.
Thank you. I'm Stuart Lee.
And I'm called Richard Herring, and welcome to TMWRNJ.
Oh, surely not, for God's sake.
They love it, Stu.
Are we not going to get in trouble, Rich, with you plugging Camelot at the start there? This is a public-funded broadcasting company. That can't be ethical.
No, Stu, it's like Anthea Turner said about the new lottery show in Tuesday's paper. She would only mention the scratch card for information, not promotion. So, you know, it's ridiculous to suggest that the BBC is promoting Camelot, Stu. That is outrageous.
Well, if you're sure,
Yes.
it seems a little ethical to me. I can't see how that can be
Do them, it's
right,
good.
really.
You'll definitely
I can't
win.
see how that can be
3
fair.
chances to win. You can't.
can
And
that
actually,
be fair?
I went to France, actually, Stu, at last Tuesday. I bought you this on the way back on the ferry on the way back.
Rich, you fool, that's anthrax. You've inadvertently bought in some of Saddam Hussein's anthrax-ridden duty-free booze. Look at that.
Very good value, though. It's very cheap.
It is cheap, yeah.
Stu, actually, I've got a bit of a satirical thing about Saddam Hussein. You know what I call Saddam Hussein, Stu?
No, what?
I don't call him Saddam Hussein.
What do you call him?
I call him Madman Insane.
Good, Rich.
Yeah.
Good satire.
Do you know what I call Bill Clinton?
No,
Stu?
what do you call Bill
I don't call him Bill
Clinton?
Clinton.
What do you call him, then?
I call him Bill Winky.
That's brilliant.
He often gets his winky out.
Yes, really good. And what do you call, in your brilliant system, your
Yeah.
satirical system, what do you call old Tony Blair's? What do you call him?
You know what I call
Don't
Tony
play
Blair?
for time, just say what it is
I've
that
got
you
a
call-
really good
What
nickname
is it, if
for
you've
him.
got it, what is it?
I don't call him Tony
What is
Blair,
it then?
Stu. I call him Tony Rubbish.
That is so... That's not as good as Madman Insane, is it? It's
Stu,
pathetic.
you know what I call Robin Cook? I don't call him Robin Cook.
No.
I call him
Leave
Robin.
it. OK, it's time to meet the team. Do your introductions,
All
Rich.
right, will you please welcome on the listing seat, Husband and Wife Information Unit, Joe Unwin, and her husband, the actor Kevin Eldon.
And at the keyboards, musician Richard Thomas, and Joe Unwin is there as well.
So what does like that
If you
one
press
do?
that goes into MIDI mode, right? That means I can
Yeah.
use this as a kind of controller for my sequencer. Of course, I need a kind of MIDI interface, obviously.
Shut up and kiss me.
And in no way celebrating the BBC's partnership with Camelot PLC, nubile slave duo Trevor and Natalie.
Trevor and Natalie.
They play scratch cards, and so should you.
Rich, they are dressed as Arthur and Guinevere from Camelot. This is out.
I've told you, it's ridiculous to suggest that the BBC is promoting Camelot Street. That's just a coincidence. These are the clothes that Trevor and Natalie were wearing when they arrived.
When they arrived from where?
Well, they live at Camelot PLC, but it's a coincidence.
All right, OK, leave it. OK, anyway, here are this week's aims, right? Aim 1 is to celebrate old John Major's 55th birthday by henceforth making every March the 29th John Major's Day. A day when everyone in Britain has to talk like John Majors for 24 hours.
Oh, that's a good idea, Stu. I can do that in front. Where are my peas?
Well done.
Thanks, Wesley. Aim 2, to have the fans who queued for 9 days for tickets for Cliff Richard's 40th anniversary Albert Hall show rewarded with a swift and humane death.
Aim 3 is to sell a new BBC scratch card, which, when scratched, reveals a photo of John Burt kissing the director of Camelot's bum.
Oh, watch out, he's our boss, Stu. Aim 4, to inform all British newspaper cartoonists that smoking cannabis does not make you fly.
And aim 5 is to follow this week's distasteful Princess Diana Cindy Doll tribute with a specially commissioned Princess Diana scale extra. And that is all the aims for this week.
A man asked me the other week, who did you vote for in the last general election? Oh, my poor fool, I responded, Jesus gets my vote every day of the week. But unlike our earthly leader, he never breaks his promises.
Thought for the day there, or as everyone's calling it,
Don't even try, don't.
And I won £2 there, so there you go. Literally, so that's
stop,
two
stop
scratch cards. I've won. Only
it.
cost £2 for the ticket as
Leave
well.
it. Okay, now, last week, we asked you last week to help us make TMWRNJ...
TMWRNJ!
No.
Yes, it is.
Britain's most popular Sunday lunchtime show by using your skills and resources to advertise us.
No, shut up.
Now, this is the full range of the ideas we've been sent in. Loads of things there.
A hat there.
A
Curious
T-shirt
orange.
you could wear. Loads of things.
The Queen Mother advertising us.
That's right. But we were sent this by Michael Affleck of Middlesbrough. This is a video of his efforts to promote us. Yeah. Watch
Dear Mr. Herring, this is my puerile attempt to advertise your show. Hope you like it.
What's that brought on his body? Huh? Come on, you have to get me on. Just me and him.
Oh dear.
Could have let him win, but he looked like he might do something really dangerous in the studio. So we didn't let him win, just to make him feel more ashamed of having done that.
Should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
But Elliot Tinney sent us loads of ideas. Here's a couple of them also on video.
What will you be doing next Sunday morning?
Watching This Morning with Richard, not Judy. Sunday, 12:15 p.m. BBC Two. Repeated, 11:45 p.m. Friday.
I took this knife and heated it with this cigarette lighter. I then used these children's paints to give my brother's friend here a tattoo. Now and home will be remembered. My name is Elliot Tiny.
There he is, Elliot Tiny of Nuneaton. You are this week's King of the Show!
Crown the King! The King is crowned!
Very proud, King.
Yeah.
Is. Oh! Now, King, how many people do you think you've actually made watch this show there, then?
Nearly 4,
Yeah.
I should think.
Yeah.
Did the child survive the tattoo?
He died on Tuesday.
That's a shame. Never
At
mind.
least
Never
I
mind, it
have-
is worth it, you know. King Elliot, as king, you will not only be stroked by a man... Yes, stroked.
Stroked?
No, you'll be stroked by a man whose face is so small, he looks like he has the face of tiny Leonardo DiCaprio stuck onto the head of a bloated Marlon Brando.
Leave him alone. You're beautiful, Trev. Don't
You will
listen to
also get to eat and drink whatever you desire from this.
the advertising industry trolley.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. And it's bringing in is decorated with a golden shower of images from the wonderful world of the advertising industry.
Yeah. There along the top, the fluttering flags of its fearless foot soldiers.
Alan Davis there, and the noble forms of its proud products. First and foremost, of course, Golden Grahams.
I told you, stop mentioning Golden Grahams every week. It's product placement, it's unethical, you can't do
Listen,
it.
Stu, I'm not mentioning Golden Grahams for promotion, Stu, merely for information.
Like Anthony Turner again.
That's right, Stu. Also, the advertising industry's favourite, some sherbet.
Sherbet.
Yeah, they love it, the advertising executives, Stu. I met some once, they had it all over the place, all over the table, the toilets, up their nose, they were doing this and that.
Some nails there for people who work in advertising to nail into their own eyes.
Yeah. And decorating the sides of the trolley, the twin lords of the world of adverts, Griff Rhys-Jones and Mel Smith. Look how happy they are.
Who could forget the artistic triumph that was Mel Smith's hilarious Delta card adverts?
Ka-ching!
It was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Or Griff's current, tightly scripted Louise Lombard Whisper Gold classic.
When he gets all wet. Oh, it's
Two
very
men
funny.
there whose continued success gives even us hope for the future.
King Elliot, what would you like from the Trolley of Delights?
The hammer.
The hammer.
hammer.
An
Yeah.
unusual choice. There it is. We'll give it to you in a minute.
The king has spoken.
But first, now it's time for the part of the show everyone's calling Tog. Tog.
Well, they live in your body and they're lots of fun, but they all need each other, one for all and all for one. They come out your belly button when you're asleep, and over to organ and they sneakily creep. At Lily Liver, Henry Heart, Barry Bladder and Beryl Brain. Yes, it's time to meet the organ gang again. Who's in Mr. Cosgrave's pedal bin today? Why, it's Adrian Appendix. Hello, Adrian. Oh. Well, it's been quite a week for you, hasn't it, Adrian? Wasn't it your birthday? Look, don't be rude, Adrian. Answer my question. You cheeky lump of gristle. Anyway, this is what happened. Yes, it's time to meet the organ gang again. Adrian Appendix lives in Needless Alley, off the busy Spaghetti Intestine Junction. Anyway, Adrian never really does anything and is a bit antisocial. But today was his birthday, and the rest of the gang decided they would take him out for a treat. Come on, Adrian, said kind Henry Hart.
If they had a bowel disorder anyway.
Please let us in, said a desperate Barry Bladder. I really need to use the gentleman's excuse me. He's left his door open, the vestigial worm-like pouch. I'm just off to the toilet.
Yeah, or someone you've never met. Or for
Happy birthday, Adrian.
Or just buy it and
Happy birthday, Adrian.
throw it away.
Ew, this house really smells of boys. Hey, Adrian,
Two colours.
how's about we take you to the fair?
Well, yesterday, but who knows? The blue may so
Well,
today. Could never
it doesn't matter, we're going anyway. Load him onto the wheelbarrow, everyone.
QVC channel.
Oh no, it's evil Derek Duodenum and the vile bile duct. Ha 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 ha. The fair looks like a perfect opportunity to take this lot for a ride. Ha 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 ha. We just need to change this sign. What has Derek got planned? Will the gang get banged in the trap? Don't touch that dial, folks, and you'll find out later.
What are you drinking there? What is it?
It's bat's milk, Stuart.
Bat's
It's
milk?
delicious milk. Off you go there. See you next week. Thanks. See ya. Bye. No, don't come back. I've had enough. Thank you. Bye. Lovely milk.
Convincing special effect.
Thanks, yeah.
And you're cruel to animals to eat that milk like that.
not,
You
they
are-
like it.
But you're a vegetarian as well.
That's right.
That is the weird thing. I mean, how do you square this up? How do you decide, given those contradictions, what you will and won't eat?
I've got a very simple system, actually,
what
Stu,
is
about
that?
what I will and won't eat. See, I won't eat anything if it's got a face, right?
Nothing with a face.
If it's got a face, I don't eat it, Stu.
Right.
No face, and I'll gobble it up, whatever it is, with impunity.
Okay, all right. Let's put your system to the
Come on,
test,
take it
right?
to the
Would you eat, say, a pig?
No, Stu, I wouldn't eat a pig, because a pig's got a face. Why don't you listen? You an idiot.
All right. Would you eat a fish then?
No, I wouldn't eat a fish. A fish has got a face, hasn't it? It's got, it makes me feel sick eating a fish. Oh,
What about, would you eat fish fingers?
yeah, no face, delicious.
Okay,
It's,
right.
fingers, isn't it?
Okay. Would you eat the security guard from Silence of the Lambs who falls victim to Hannibal Lecter in the elevator scene? Would you eat him?
Yeah, I would, Stu. He hasn't got a face, has
No,
he?
exactly.
His face is in turn on the face of Hannibal Lecter,
Right.
which, ironically, just makes Hannibal Lecter doubly unappetising.
Good system.
to me. What about you, Stu? Do you have a system about what you
Yeah,
want?
I do. I will eat anything which I consider to be less intelligent than me, right? And as a university graduate with 10 O-levels and a night school word processing qualification, that's right, look impressed, you can imagine that gives me a fairly wide smorgasbord of options to choose from.
Let's put it to the test, if you know. Would you eat a pig, Stu?
Yeah, I would eat I find that quite offensive. I'm more intelligent than a pig.
Are you, Stu?
Yeah, I am. I would
Are
eat
you
a
really?
pig. Yeah, I
Think
would.
about it.
Yeah, no, it's not an answer.
It is.
It's not.
What about the piglet Babe, who can talk and round up a field of sheep?
I can talk, Rich.
Yeah, but can you round up a field of sheep?
Given the appropriate training by an animatronic Miriam Margolyes voiced dog, yes, I can.
Can you make an entire audience of people rise to their feet in spontaneous applause? Don't think they're with you on that. Would you eat a graduate of De Montfort University, Stu?
Yeah, probably before the pig, actually.
Would you eat Jerry from the Spice Girls?
Well, not eat exactly, but I'd make a start, you know. Now over to Joe Unwin. They're so young today.
I don't understand.
Over to Joe Unwin and the actor
you
Kevin
need to?
Eldon for the listings.
Thanks. Thanks, guys. OK, hats off, gloves on, let's do this. And what about this? First this week, Cock-a-Doodle Die. Visitors are flocking to Littlebrook Farm near Uttoxeter to marvel at the talents of Binky the cockerel. Binky has used his tiny cock's foot to trace an elaborate doodle in his own excrement, which his owner, Michael Guy, insists resembles the late Princess of Wales if you look at it from a certain angle and squint a bit. Anyone who doesn't come and look at my cock is worse than Hitler, said Guy today.
There will be a fight between some tough men from Shrewsbury and anyone who comes along to Shrewsbury Park, Shrewsbury, tomorrow night. The tough men say that any other men that are in the area but don't come to fight are gay. The fight begins tomorrow night after work. And that's all the listings for this week.
No, it isn't actually. Strike out the music again, because I've got an extra one. How about this? Your wife. If your wife has been spending all of this week having secret romantic trysts with a long-haired pianist from a Sunday lunchtime programme, why not try following her around and taking Polaroid pictures of her stinking infidelity, showing them on live television, and then looking at her embarrassed face? And that is all the listings for this week.
Why would I be embarrassed?
Well, that fight sounds scary, doesn't it? Yeah.
Like all mothers, Mother Nature is full of lust and cruelty, and if a small boy would have put his trust in her, she would betray it, blaming him for stuff he didn't do and locking him in his room. Hi, I'm Greg Evigan from BJ and the Bear. You know, that thing about the truck driver and the chimp. Yeah, it was a chimp called Bear, not a bear. I know, it's odd, isn't it? I just did it for fun. Anyway, we shouldn't be talking about monkeys or bears because we're here to discover what occurs when insects attack. This week, slugs? Remember, this is... Well, our friend the lettuce leaf will be thinking twice before he tries to grow in a garden again. I know slugs are mollusks, not insects, okay? So don't waste my time writing in. The corner of the slug nibbled away will never grow back and will be a constant reminder to the tiny leaf of what can happen when insects attack. If you have any home video footage of people being attacked by insects, please send it in. As you can see, we're starting to get a little desperate here. And to be honest, even I find it quite degrading to have to pretend to be concerned or excited by changes in the shape of a leaf. So, come on, hey? Do your old pal Greg a favor. I'm Greg Evigan. Goodbye. I'm tired.
No, Stu. These scratch cards are most excellent. You know, they only cost £2, and yet there's 3 ways to win. Look, on that one, I've just won a chance to win on Play on the Home Viewer game,
Stop
Stu. It's
going
great.
on about scratch cards all the time. I've said it's unethical. You can't do it.
I've said I'm like Anthea Turner. This is information and not promotion.
All right, OK, so what you're saying, right, is that if I were to put on this Anthea Turner wig like this, right, and then say that we're starting a 31-date stand-up tour on April the 14th, playing at Norwich, Hull, Richmond, Newbury, Southampton, Bristol, Gravesend, Canterbury, Cheltenham, Kings Lynn, Cambridge, Cardiff, Guildford, Croydon, Bedford, Brighton, Stafford, Sheffield, Manchester, Leeds, Glasgow, Northwich, Derby, Watford, Newcastle, Liverpool, Oxford and Reading. As long as I said I was only mentioning the dates for information rather than promotion, like Anthea Turner, and there's nothing the BBC could do about it.
Yeah, in fact, under the circumstances, it'd be hypocritical of them to complain,
I
wouldn't it,
see,
Stu?
good idea, yeah.
You know,
I think we got away with it.
I think we did, it was clever. I
Yeah.
think it's the wig putting
know,
on,
they
they didn't
both think it's someone
recognise you.
else, yeah.
They thought you were from Herman's Hermits.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what I call Anthea Turner, Stu?
No, what is it?
Don't call her Anthea Turner. I call her Anthea... I can't think of anything, actually. It's hard when it looks at her, isn't it?
hard,
Rory
yeah,
Bremner does a bloody good job.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Anyway, now it's time for the part of the show that everyone's calling Moans for.
Men of Achievement 1974. This week's Man of Achievement 1974 is Tawny Otto Nall, a clergyman from Indiana. Author of Move On, Youth and Making Good as Young Couples, he is married to France Marie Mahaji. Men of Achievement 1974.
Elliot Tiny, the king of the show today. Men of Achievement, Elliot, a hit or a miss? What do you reckon?
It's
Don't
okay.
try and be clever.
I can watch it now without vomiting blood.
Right. Elliot's a child actor and clearly sent in his videotape as an act of self-promotion. You used to be in Children's Ward, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
What did you play in Children's Ward?
A part called Cal.
Cal, and
Mate.
what was wrong with Cal? What was Cal's illness?
Brain tumour.
And how did you research that, then? Yeah, lost for words now, you little stage school scumbag, aren't you? Right. The king has spoken, or rather not.
I think he's very nice. I thought Children's World was a good show, actually. Good anyway. Last week, our regular speaking citrus fruit suffered a personal tragedy as he witnessed the death of his estranged tree mother here live on the show. But, you know, he's had a week to recover and he's bravely agreed to come back on the show again. Please welcome the part of the show everyone's calling Taco.
I am Curious Orange.
You're right, Curious Orange. You look a bit mouldy here.
Nothing! Fine. It's nothing. I've still got the old Curious Orange magic.
All right, I'm sorry. Just calm down, all right?
Don't touch me!
OK. All right. What are you curious about this week, the Curious Orange?
Oh, I don't want to do this. It's boring. I'm an entertainer. I can do more than just ask questions. I want to sing a song.
Well, you can't sing a song. You've got to ask a question like every week. That's why you're the Curious Orange. All right. OK, all right. You can sing a song. All right, sing
a song.
Go on.
A song.
I had a little donkey. I kept it in the yard. One day in the winter time when it was snowing hard, Mother said the donkey must be colder in the store. Bring it in the kitchen and let it have a warm. In came the donkey and bit my father's ear. Ow! Up went the donkey and kicked the chandelier. Down came the donkey and bit my father's ear again. Mother said the donkey must go out into the yard again. Auntie Maggie can't get any mother, so my drawers up.
I was wrong. Brilliant. That was brilliant. Yeah.
Curious Orange. That was fantastic. To celebrate how good it was, let's all have a little drink.
Oh, yeah.
There you are. Like that, don't you?
Lovely drink.
That's lovely drink. I'll tell you what, lads. I'm very curious to know what this drink is called.
The name of this drink, you say, the Curious Orange?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It is orange juice.
Oh, you monsters! The blood of my brother!
We got you! Force it into him, Stu!
Drink it down!
Tastes like
Drink
pork,
it!
doesn't it?
Drink it!
A parishioner asked me on a recent visit to her home, "Do you like tea or coffee, Vicar?" Oh, my poor old wrinkled, bedridden, lonely fool, I replied. Jesus is my favourite beverage at every 11's.
Well, I'm a bit blinded now, actually, which is good, because we were going to do a link about In the Kingdom of the Blind. In the Kingdom of Channel 5, our next guest is king, which isn't that good when you think about it, really.
Jack Doherty.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
Five.
Damn that queuing, sorry.
Jack Doherty.
Didn't feel the necessity to dress up on the show.
No, you've spotted that instantly. But I did feel the necessity to dress.
Yes.
And I think that's the only requirement for this show, not to be bare.
I just know my granny's going to be sitting at home going, oh, that Jack Doherty was scruffy. He looked like he'd come straight off a building
Well,
site.
I wear a suit all week, let me...
So at weekends you wear a jumper and some combat trousers?
Yeah.
That's good. It's nice to know.
Is it 4 nights a week or 5 nights a week?
It's 3 now.
3.
Yeah, only 3 to go.
But you must...
Until we're not doing it any
going
longer.
down.
It's getting more and more
You must have interviewed hundreds of people now.
Yes, actually, yeah, 600 odd, 700 and, yeah,
And
10.
who is the best celebrity that you've had on the show?
The best celebrity is Jack Palance.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because he came on to talk about Treasure Island, in which he played the part of Long John Silver, and he's sold now, he's 86, and he forgot the 2 components that were vital to the interview. A, that he just filmed Treasure Island, and B, that he played the part of Long John Silver. I do too. And also, he doesn't know the difference between a sign going stage and a sign going fire exit. So this is... you go Jack Palance, and then it's a lonely 5 minutes.
And there's an old, confused man outside in an alleyway.
Yeah, and then they bring him on, and you go, so tell us about the new...
Right, and he was your best guest.
thing. And that's been the highlight. Right. But it's best... In the way that I mean worst.
I see. So what is the worst in the way that I mean actually
best?
worst?
Well,
when I say worst, I actually mean worst.
Well, I hate saying it because it was David Bowie, and I feel crap. I'm 13 when I say that. But it's only because I liked him when I was 13.
That was the best guess.
Yeah. So there's a little 13-year-old inside you. Because you're kind of going, so really in the overview, and let's talk about the schizophrenia of your brothers, and this little 13-year-old going, it's him! It's him! There! I kept touching him.
It was like that for us when we met you on the show.
Well, I thought it would be that. But you're not touching me as much as I touched Bowie.
When we were 13, we watched Absolutely, probably were a bit older than that, really. But
of course.
Which was a great show. Remember Absolutely? Most of our audience today are too young to remember the first episode of this show. But,
it was kind of like a quintessential great moment, and it's a British broadcasting triumph, really, in many ways.
Is there another series of Absolutely in the pipeline?
No.
It's very good.
It was years ago, though. No, we're doing other stuff.
You know when Morwenna Banks used to dress up as that little schoolgirl? Did that ever turn you on?
Oh, you're sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I used to go out with Morwenna. I actually had sex with her and dressed as that little girl.
You are aware this is... You're aware this is live at 12:15 or something.
I've just become aware that this is live. Right. And Morwenna's watching it.
And your family are watching, and your children are watching. Yeah. Lovely.
Never mind. Well, we won't be back next week.
I'd just like to point out that Morwenna Banks wasn't a little girl when he had sex. Just dressed as one.
You know when I said we won't be back next week, that was like, move off the set.
I just wanted to talk about, but she sounded just like one. Sorry, is it you were saying move off?
Anyway,
completely.
Apart from making inappropriate sexual innuendos on a Sunday lunchtime, you have another interesting, very special secret skill.
I do, actually. Until recently, I held the record for the balding Scottish man who could eat the most cat food in under 80 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Incredible skill.
Richard Jobson stole it from me recently.
He's just
the bloke from Skids into the valley. Without.
But you're hoping to ever do that again?
Well, I'm hoping that eventually, God willing, I'll get the chance to do it again.
Well, funnily enough, we are 80 seconds under, and I did bring in by chance a big plate of cat food today. So bring in Trevor Natalie.
I didn't know.
We're going to go for the record. I know, it's amazing.
I'm surprised.
There it is, Mr.
Jack
Doherty.
You've got 80 seconds to break that record. Eat that cat food. Jack
Let's go. Start now. Let's go for it. Get in there. That's lovely.
I am Roger Crowley, the wickedest man in the world. How much longer shall my foul deeds go unpunished? This week I decided to flood the world, ridding it of all that is good in a perverse mockery of Noah's adventure. I filled my ark, or Lilo, with the wickedest things I could find. 2 wasps, these rude playing cards, a picture of William Straw, and, of course, myself. Let the mayhem commence, I shouted. And then I set every tap in the house running and laid back and laughed at the ensuing disaster. Unfortunately, after 3 hours, I realized the deluge had not happened. I had forgotten to put the plugs in the sinks. My plan had failed. But next time I will not be so stupid, my friends. So I hope you can swim. Oh, yes. One day you will all see my power.
He hasn't eaten it. Time's up.
Bad luck, Jack. That was...
The balding Scottish man's most cat food and underrated setting record is not yours. It's still...
Damn Richard Jobs. I'll get him, though.
Yes, you did a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Doherty! There he is. Look at him.
At the start of each term, the headmaster calls a meeting to unveil his new timetable. It's an exciting event, looked forward to by one and all.
And with the help of my home computer, I think I can confidently say that this term's timetable is infallible. A papal edict of timetables.
Tim Kitty, you're not in my class. Yeah, I know. Alice Powell, you're not in my class either.
It's in the timetable, sir.
No, in the timetable, my class is in here.
No, Mr. Kennedy's is.
What's going on?
Come on, shut up. Come on. All right, come on.
What's going on, Mr. Kennedy? According to the timetable, my class is supposed to be in here.
Well, Mr. Harris, according to my timetable, my class is supposed to be in here.
Oh, dear, how did that happen? Well, perhaps we better compromise and share the classroom.
Compromise, Alan? We're doing different texts, aren't we?
Yeah, I know, but we could...
Compromise. Mr. Harris thinks we should compromise, right? Perhaps he means, right, that he should read out a line from Measure for Measure and I should read out a line from Ulysses and you lot should try and make a funny story out of it.
That isn't what I meant, actually.
OK, I've got a solution, right? First of all, we get down to one text, right? Or Mr. Harris's class, get your copy of Measure for Measure out of your bag, right? And then throw it at the wall. Come on, throw it.
No.
Chuck it at the wall.
No,
Smash
stop
it.
it.
Break the
Stop
books.
it. Stop it. Throwing books against the wall is the kind of thing Hitler did.
Come on, throw it.
Sometimes, Measure for Measure, whilst not being one of Shakespeare's better plays, still has some interesting things to say about gender identity. Stop it.
Throw it.
Or I'll...
Oh, what? All right, you'll cry, will you, Alan? Is that
No.
So why don't you just take your little hat, put your little hat on there, go up to the staff room, do your marking, eat your biscuits, come on.
What is going on here? I can hear you right over by the Hugh Sexy Wing. Is this a classroom or the monkey zoo?
Headmaster, far from being infallible, it appears that your infallible timetable is in fact the opposite of that. Fallible.
Give me that. No, it appears, Mr. Kennedy, that someone has altered your copy of the timetable with red pen.
That's right, I did it. I did it to teach my class that any system that relies on a timetable is by definition crap. That's right, I said crap. In front of the headmaster's Galen from Planet of the Apes face. Expect I'll get in quite a lot of trouble for that later on.
Well, you won't.
Well, I will.
You won't, Mr. Kennedy, for the simple reason that I am tired of your childish attention-seeking. Now, take your class...
He says that now, but I guarantee you, later on, I will be called into his office and hauled over the coals for saying crap.
Well, I guarantee that you won't. And if you try to barge your way into my office again, I shall do what I did last time, which, as I'm sure you'll remember, was to leave the office locking the door behind me.
OK, my class aren't going anywhere, right? I'm like Gandhi, this is passive resistance.
I don't mind moving, Headmaster.
No, you stay where you are. Mr. Harris, you are a good man. You, Mr. Kennedy, are a quit. That's right. I said in front of myself. Take them to class and take them to the proper classroom. Pronto! Thank you.
OK, come on, let's go to D1, my class, but slowly and making as much noise as possible. Come on.
My class, stay here. Don't speak, stop that. Siobhan says I should stand up for myself, but a man must know his limitations, etc. I know I'm not the best teacher in the world. I know the kids call me names, you know, nerd, Drongo, Wazzock, Acorn, Winky, knob-faced, helmet-headed Spackmoid, Giles Jizzbreath, but I don't like to... Oh, Four-Eyed Chutney Mole. But I don't like to make a fuss, you know. I'll just do my job the best I can, and in years to come, if just one of my pupils says, "Oh, Mr. Harris, he was a bit of a ninny, but at least he opened my eyes up to the nature-nurture symbolism in the Tempest," then I've done my job. The marking, etc.
Ugh, I'm hopping mad, Stu.
What about?
Look
What
at this.
about?
I've been reading the paper. You've seen what the Brussels Eurocrats
What
are up
are
to,
they
old
doing?
plastic Bertrand and the
What's he
Brussels...
doing? What?
No, have you seen what they're trying to do? They're trying to stop us in England putting our sewage in the sea.
Yeah, but that's a good thing, surely, Rich.
Look, Stu, if we want to put our English sewage in the English Sea, then that's up to us. It's not up to Gerard Depardieu, it's up to us.
Yeah.
And at least we put our sewage in the sea.
What are you saying?
I've been on holiday to France. I've seen what they do with their sewage there, Stu, and it's disgusting. Yeah. They don't have toilets, you see, no. Well, they have little holes in the ground, by the side of the road, right? In the gutter there, with a little grill over them. You're meant to go to the toilet there in full view of everyone, and then the police have the audacity to arrest you for just using the toilet.
Rich, those aren't toilets. Those are drains.
Well, even so, it's still disgusting. They're filthy, the French. Filthy.
You are playing up to racial stereotypes.
Huh. They said that Hitler played up to racial stereotypes, Stu.
Well, he did, didn't he, Rich?
Yeah, well, that wasn't a very good
Well, he
example,
chose
was
to
it?
get through.
My point is, we should be allowed to swim in sewage if we want without D'Artagnan and the Three Muskehounds and John de Florette telling us we can't, Stu. That's my point.
Why are you so adamant about this? It's almost as if you want to swim in untreated sewage.
Stuart, if I wanted to swim around in untreated sewage, I would simply get the 37 bus to the Minworth sewage farm near Coventry, right? Then wait till the bloke who runs it had just popped out for a cup of tea, right? Then strip jackass naked, as God intended, and dive deep into the swirling effluent and swim around to my heart's content in the fragrant, invigorating waters.
You obviously do that, don't you?
Yeah, I do, Stu. I said if I wanted to do that, I would do that. And I do want to do it, so I do!
You are sick, you are sick.
I'm not, Stu, and I'd ask you this question. Who is the real sick man in this so-called society? Is it the ordinary, normal, everyday man who gets some harmless pleasure and slight sexual arousal from swimming around in effluent? And I'm not saying he does this, the man, Stu, but possibly he gets an added thrill by secretly weeing into the sewage. Maybe he enjoys the warmth around his thighs. Is he so sick, really, Stu? Wait. Oh, is it the businessman in his suit and tie, going to his indoor toilet and making the sewage in the first place? Yes.
It's the first one, Rich. Oh, bloke swimming in... He's the sick one, you know, probably literally.
No, Stu, but no, because with that, I'm going to pick you up on this one. If it wasn't for the businessman, there would be no sewage, would it? It's the businessman's fault.
It doesn't make it all, does it? You can't blame this one fictional businessman for all your perversion.
You can. It's entrapment, Stu. If the businessman didn't create the temptation, the crime wouldn't happen, wouldn't it? It's like William Straw.
William Straw did not swim around in untreated sewage.
No, Stu, he didn't. But he would have done if he thought it would help him get off with an attractive 28-year-old reporter, wouldn't he? Yeah, think about it.
Yes, it's time to meet the Organ Gang again. Hello again. The Organ Gang have been duped by Derek Duodenum's trick and are taking Adrian Appendix to his false fare. Not bad for 5 minutes' work. Quick, here they come. Roll up, roll up. Welcome to Lyric Duodenum's perfectly safe fare. I'm just after the toilet. Is it this young vestigial worm-shaped poucher's birthday? Why then, me and my assistant will take him on the Big Dipper for free. And off we go. Anyone riding on this Big Dipper is certain to be killed. Hold on. We are on the cart too. And so is a plan of genius ruined by a tiny detail. looks like they got their just desserts, quipped Barrow, and everyone laughed for a full 30 minutes at this excellent joke, despite having already heard it in episode 1. So, Adrian, I think it's fair to say that your birthday went with a bit of a bang. That was a funny joke that deserved a bit of a response at least. I don't have to stand for this, you know. I am Brian Cant. I don't have to do this. I had loads of other job offers. You think I enjoy talking to pictures of anthropomorphized internal human organs? Because I don't. I'm 57 years old. Well, sod you. That's it. I'm out of here. In all my years of broadcasting, I've never been treated like this. Not on Play School, Play Away, Trumped and nothing. The most half-assed excuse for a cartoon series I've ever seen. Well, let's see how you get on without me, right?
Jack Doherty's back for our in-depth 35-second summary of the week's news.
Yeah.
What I liked about the news this week was in The Sun yesterday. I don't know if you saw this picture of the Queen and a dog has started sniffing around her in rather a suspicious way. And the Queen actually said, "I think he must be able to smell my corgis."
Yeah. Never heard it called that before.
Never yet.
It's an unusual thing.
The royal family have a different word.
There's a cartoon here about decriminalising cannabis.
Oh, yeah,
and
but
they're
it's
not marching,
hilarious.
they're flying by.
Oh, I love that joke.
That is the joke that have made Jack Doherty a star.
Buddhists. Oh dear. Your ideas are naive at best. But if you believe the same as I do, then you don't have to worry about coming back as a dung beetle. So swallow your pride and admit you were wrong. Go on.
Well, Time's clock has rubbed right against us. It's the end of the show. If you want to be next week's King of the Show, to write to us and tell us why you think you should be.
That's right. The person who gives us the best reason why they should be king will be next week's king.
That's how it works. Maybe you've got a week to live. You want to spend your dying minutes on live TV being force-fed Golden Graham.
So you can write to us at the normal address, BBC TV Centre London, W127RJ.
Or email us. We're still with CompuServe. Please, come on. We're with CompuServe, but we're not going to be for long. Thanks to everyone else who's written. If you are with CompuServe, please leave them, because they're rubbish.
Anyway, time to end with this week's hymn.
Come on.
Shut off, right? You know, go and join your monkey mates. Go on.
Whoa, cool it down, music man, or you may snap a string. Woo! I'm out of here. But hey, buddy, you better watch your back.
Okay, let's see it.
Don't worry about me, pixie face. There's a whole world out there, and
Go away, Kevin.
Right.
That's the end of the show. Let's sing this week's hymn, the National Lottery theme. Camelot, come on. Fly scratch chords. Da 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 da
The actor Kevin Alden must learn to quell the raging beast that dwells within him. The beast that we call monkey-faced man.
I made this. Only because I told you to make it. You didn't. I made it up about a year ago. Oh, yeah. Did?